Hi and welcome to my PlayHouse, and today we have this project here on the table. It's the awesome Lenovo SR650 version 2 with 12 front drives, well, spaces for them anyway. So let's see what this is. Yeah, I went over this server just a few videos ago, and some more stuff for it has dropped in. So I thought, well, we might as well see that now that it has gotten there. And I'm very interested to see if these very inexpensive SATA SSDs will work in it. So yeah, we should have a look at that. Plus I've gotten some trays for it so that it can actually do some drives. I have just these Hewlett-Packard drives here. Naturally, you're not gonna put Hewlett-Packard drives in a Lenovo server, but yeah, it's just to see if they fit and do stuff. So let's get on with it. So let's get the boxes a little bit out of the way. Oops. Scissors for opening. 12 hard drive trays. We need to get into it first. So there. Take the cover off. Last time I put in this M.2, they call it a kit, but the only thing in the box was this thing, so I was ever so slightly disappointed with the kit, as it was just one circuit board, and they didn't even include the cable, which I had to purchase separately. So we need to connect the cable, and we need to put in some SSDs, and yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see if it will take these no-name SSDs, because the ones wasn't really available. Well, they were ridiculously expensive. So if we decided that it would be worth it to test if these worked, even if they don't work, it would still be worth it. So let's see the cable. I have had it open, so it came like this, a box with a cable, and I would have expected that cable would have been in the kit. That is usually what a kit is. So, okay. Oh, I do wonder if it does have a piece of paper here. Usually this is totally useless, but they could have added a tiny little drawing of how to connect this. They didn't. Let's see if the LED gives us any assistance on that. It does actually give us some assistance on putting in this, and then they give us no assistance on where to actually put the cables. But they put the cable in here, but they don't show me where the cables goes to. So yeah, but we might get lucky, and the cables can only go one place. So yeah, let's see these SSD things here. They're not as big as I thought they would be, but yeah. And these were really cheap. I think they were $13 ish, so not expensive at all. So how do they go in? Clearly they go in this way. Okay. So I need to move this thing. There. Okay. What this card does is that it takes the two M.2 SSDs and put them into a RAID. So you can lose one of these, just like if you were dealing with spinning disks, and put those in a RAID. And these are put in a mirror, so that the two drives are mirrored, and that way we should have kind of a little redundant solution. Those two are in, but I have no idea if it's gonna work, if it will be satisfied with a it's not exactly a no name. Western Digital is a breakable name, but the Western Digital green, oh, it might not exactly be enterprise, but they're only going to be used to boot the server, and this server is going to be running some distribution of Linux, and then it's going to be using the 12 base in the front of it for some large storage. So this is kind of a storage server, and it's just going to be booting on that, so it's probably all fine. So luckily there is some stuff that only goes in one place, like this connector here needs to go in the back of the card here, and it says SATA RAID, and there's a little tiny screw there, which the kit could have included a screwdriver for, but it did not, so we are using a little screwdriver that came out of something else, a solar charge controller, I believe that screwdriver came out of. And then we have a power plug here, I do believe goes in right next to it. There. Cool. So now we have two connections, or two connectors that we need to find space for on the system board. On this one I have already found where that goes. So this is the power, and this is the signal. Oh, and let's see if we can bend this in a way so that it's out of the bend it in a way so that it's out of the way. I found a little connector down here that says M.2, and I do believe that this connector goes in there. I just need to figure out how to put it in there in a nice way so that it's so that it bends around. Yeah, I guess that is gonna have to do. So that goes in that connector, clickety click. Okay, and then we have the power, and there is a connector down here that is very nicely, the white one right there is very nicely called M.2 power. I am guessing we might get in luck with that one, so we're just gonna pop that connector in that one there, and it's stuck. I did also have a look at a connector up here that almost looked right, but was a totally different connector, so I believe we have this connected now. I do not like the cable quality down here, it looks very thin. And why we have like these two connectors going up from that plug and up to this card up here is beyond me. I think this is a rather bad solution. I don't like this at all. Two power plugs to go up from one place to another place. It just looks like a bit of lazy engineering if you ask me, and well, you're actually asking me, you're watching my video, so a bit of lazy engineering right here making this solution. So that was the hard part, which most definitely wasn't very difficult. Let's see if it works though. But we need to check these disc trays that I have purchased for this. And these are for the SR650, SR550, SR570, and they're 3.5-inch SATA hard drives caddy. I haven't had these out of the package, so and they came from China because the people that are getting this server, they had to buy, well, actually they have lent a server from me, emergency, because yeah, we needed some storage right away, and there was kind of a backlog, and so they purchased 12 drives and put in that server, and then we needed to replace the server, and this is what we got. So okay, this is a different model than I tested it with, I believe. So let's try and put a drive in there and see if it's if it fits. I think it does. Let's see if it fits in there. I think it does. Yeah, I think this is gonna be fine. let's test it. We have it. This is drive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and actually they call them 0. They start with drive 0, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You get it. Sometimes it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you have to make sure that you're counting it the right way. Yeah, that feels very tough to get in there. Let's get that one out. And the next one, just to, and I'll be sure what's going on in there. Let's see. Might just be the first. They don't fit very well. I think they might be Chinese rip-offs. But they do go in. Okay. Okay, I have put a little, oh that's not good. Put a little ESXi 7.0 in here. I do wonder what we are messing with there. An exclamation mark came up. Might be the power supplies. Turning on server. Okay, system is in maintenance mode. Flash updating. Okay, that is rather weird. Do not turn off. Yeah, I will not turn it off. I don't want to break it already. Okay. Apparently it has a little power cycle before it starts up here. Now it's not. It turned off in a very unhealthy sounding way that gave me the. Yeah, I got worried for sure. So let's see if we can. First time boot options F12. Let's see what we have available to boot on. We do not have to do a whole lot of stuff. Yeah, we can see what's in the server. Storage server doesn't need a lot of RAM. 32 gigabytes of RAM. It has a CPU, rather entry level one, 8 cores. The Intel Xeon Scalable Silver, and that's a 2.8 gigahertz CPU. So. Configuration has been changed out of band. Recalibrating. I don't think it's happy. If you saw my previous video, I messed up and purchased 2 different power supplies. But it's probably pissed about that. So this is boot options. We have network cards. We have our USB stick. That's actually not a bad choice. Let's pick that one, if that will work for us. Yes, it boots ESXi. So I am interested in what will ESXi have available for it when it wants to install on here. And hopefully it sees our M.2s in there. That would be very nice if it does that. So it's scanning for available devices. It looks good, except we have 2 drives to install on. I wasn't counting on that. I would have thought that it would just present me with 1. So that might be a limitation to the kit, that if you don't put in Lenovo drives, it won't do the RAID on them. It does not see the hard drives in there, which is kind of weird because they're in the front and they are lighting up. The 2 Hewlett Packard drives are here, and they do not show up as something that I can install on, so So I'm not gonna actually install ESXi on this. I was just curious on what would be presented to the operating system. The Kingston bottom one is the USB key that I have in there, which is for the installation. But yeah, we are just gonna cancel this, and I wanna see it in the BIOS. Okay, so it's being weird. I'm gonna try and see. I messed up last time when I purchased a new power supply for it, because I purchased a 80 plus platinum, and then it turned out that the server had an 80 plus titanium, and this one I believe is the better one, the one that it already had. So I'm not sure that I'm allowed to mix the two of them, so I'm just gonna try with one power supply. I also thought that, well, I have some other power supplies for this, which were bought for the Model 1, version 1, but as you might be able to see, they have shortened the power supply in the version 2 by about 3 centimeters. So yeah, that's probably not gonna fly. I am curious though, if it pops in here, it's not gonna be able to let's check the connectors before I do anything too stupid. Well, they do look the same. So how does that fit in there? They have put something in that makes so that it doesn't go in. A funny thing though, it could kind of fit there. It would just stick out a little bit. It wouldn't be a big deal. They have to change something all the time. So let's put this platinum in, and bay number 1 there, and power that. So the exclamation mark hasn't come on yet, which could be that it didn't like the power supply. Okay, something is messing with me. At the moment it's just going around in a loop, trying to boot and not getting anywhere. It will sit here for a little bit and then it will restart and try again. I've tried multiple times to get into the BIOS and it does not do that. So I think I need to see what's messing with me. Okay, so inside the server I have disconnected the M.2 boot device in there and managed to get into the diagnostics here. And it's complaining about the power supply situation. It has it realized that it used to have redundant and now it does not. So it's giving me a question mark about that. So I'm actually quite interested in seeing what happens if I put that redundancy back and go in here again and see if it will complain about that at that point. But clearly that M.2 thing is not working as intended. I think I can blame those two Western Digital SSDs. They are clearly not doing the job. But I want to test the power supply, so I'll try that. I have also popped out the 2 hard drives here. They go very, very tight in here. But down here I have an M4, and in that one it fits very well. No problems whatsoever. Okay. Also tight. Up here it's just a ridiculously tight fit. I popped in the other power supply. I think you might be able to see that it's not totally and completely satisfied with that. But we do get into the diagnostics and this yellow thing became a red thing and mismatch. It does not like the 2 different power supplies. So not a good thing. I tried to leave the platinum power supply in there, and now it's recalibrating the power system, or system power. So, oh, it does start diagnostics. That's nice. So I plugged everything in again, except that I don't have two power supplies right now, and it's not complaining on the outside. So let's see what it says on the inside. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. It's just the power supply. No redundancy. Okay. Disk drive test. So it's these the two M.2s. Short self-test. Sure, let's try and run a test on them. Running 0%. This can take a few minutes. Oh, I hope it doesn't take much than a few minutes. So the drive test failed. So I think we can conclude some things already here. None Lenovo SSD M.2 SSDs in there. Apparently it sees them, but it doesn't do what it's supposed to do, like make them into a RAID of a mirror and stuff, and it fails the drives. And well, I couldn't get into the BIOS with them in. I could boot, but I couldn't get into the BIOS. So dodgy as heck. Second thing, two different power supplies of platinum and titanium, even though it's for the right server model, don't mix. It doesn't like that. It also does weird booting stuff that I didn't show as much of on camera, but it did weird stuff. Well, actually it might have been related to the internal drives, which just kept looping. The third thing that I haven't showed is, well, I showed that these goes very, very tight, but I actually have some drives here for the M4 down here, and the awesome IBM X3650 M4, and that goes in a lot nicer than those drives, which I do believe is Chinese rip-off drives. So yeah, lesson learned. It's a tight fit. I learned a lot. I learned a lot of stuff that didn't work. So I hope you also learned a lot, and if you should be in need of trays, these one are for Hewlett Packard servers. I have a lot of trays in my little shop, myplayhouse/shop, links in the description, and I would very much love to sell you some of those. Other than that, thank you very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can see me again, and have a really nice day. Bye bye.